To be fair, so Colin Turkington's car is still in the pit lane. If it starts at all, it will have to be once everybody has gone into Redgate on that first lap of the race. So the last race of the day has Rory Butcher on pole position, Ash Sutton with him at the front of the grid. Josh Cook lines up third alongside James Cole, then comes Adam Morgan and Dan Cammish. Jack Goff will start seventh ahead of Chris Smiley, then Tom Ingram, the race 2 winner from Tom Chilton. Sam Tordoff is on the 11th rank of the grid alongside Tom Oliphant. Then come Rob Collard and Brett Smith. Aidan Moffat goes from a 15th and Matt Neal is alongside him. Tom Boardman is next. Andrew Jordan is 18th ahead of Stephen Jelly and Jason Plato. Rob Austin is on the 11th row with Senna Proctor alongside ahead of Jake Hill and his teammate Bobby Thompson. Then Matt Simpson and Josh Price ahead of Michael Caine and Mike Bushell. The 15th row of the grid is Ollie Jackson and then Sam Smelt. And the back row isn't Colin Turkington. He'll start from the pits if he starts at all. But James Nash is there, and he has also had an engine change. The BTC Norlin Racing squad has been just as busy as WSR, and that car is on the grid. James with work to do. So where do we stand for this race in terms of ballast? Remember, it is based on how they came across the line in race 2. So it's 15 kilos for Rory Butcher, but he's on the option tyre, which is the hard tyre here. 21 kilos plus the option tyre for Ash Sutton. Josh Cook, 27, and up and up and up it goes to the 75 for the race winner, Tom Ingram, and a mere 9 kilos for the 10th place Tom Chilton out of race 2. Option tyre you can see, and it's the prime tyre which has proved to be the quicker over the course of the day. So again, we're going to have people rising and falling up through the order as the race wears on.
We'll try and keep you posted.
On top of everything else that we have to look forward to. Can you pick a winner out of this?
You know, you've got to say someone like Adam Morgan, who is starting 5th on the grid on the prime tyre, or Josh Cook just in front of him, also on the prime tyre, but with only 39 and 27 kilos respectively. I mean, Josh won the first race in similar conditions on that tyre, but with 27 kilos less. He could easily do it again, and Morgan is flying. So I'd be looking at one of those two, probably.
I mean, certainly Adam Morgan, what was he, 22nd on the grid, the amended grid for that second race, and carved his way up the order. Josh Cook, with that proverbial monkey off his back, the confidence is there now. He knows he can do it. Can he do it again? Rory Butcher and Ash Sutton, we fear, will drop back. James Cole as well, because they're on the harder tyre. And there is Colin Turkington, who, fingers crossed, is good to go. The last thing we want to see is that car back into the pit lane at the end of lap 1.
Yeah, well, I would say it's 50-50, because they've been in, out with all sorts of problems. But we'll see.
This is a day that the team will not look back on with much affection, and it could well be a key day in the outcome of the championship. So, as the cars come through the chicane and up to the grid, we're almost set then for the 6th round of this year's Dunlop MSA British Touring Car Championship. For pole position, his first, Rory Butcher. Ash Sutton is going to line up with him at the front. It's MG and Subaru. And then Josh Cook, the man that won round 4 of the championship, lining up alongside James Cole. Then you've got Adam Morgan and Dan Cammish, 48 kilos, and he's got rid of that hard tyre as well, so he could be a man to watch in this race also. Jack Goff is on the next row alongside Chris Smiley, who, in fairness, is delighted with his second place in race 2, but he's running with 66 kilos of ballast, which he's never had to race with before, and that's the same weight as James Nash, his teammate. Yeah,
a lot depends on whether the guys on the hard tyre form a roadblock at the front and guys fall over them with potentially faster cars trying to get past. We'll have to see.
There is James Nash, all 66 kilos of him up to the back of the grid. He doesn't have Colin Turkington for company, and let's see what he can do to make progress. James delighted to be back racing in the UK, but he's not had a great day. He wants to turn that around as we get set. 16 laps of racing in prospect. Round 6 of the British Touring Car Championship. Good to go. Light to red, light to go out. The rear-wheel drive Subaru blasts away from the line. Can Ash Sutton bag the lead on the way down towards Redgate? Not quite. Rory Butcher it is on the inside line. Good start by Josh Cook. Adam Morgan tries to get up the inside of James Cole as well. Dan Cammish on the outside, losing ground. Jack Goff goes ahead of him. Chris Smiley dives up the inside of Cammish as well. And downhill, Butcher, Sutton, Morgan, 2 wheels on the grass, level with Josh Cook. There's a roadblock ahead of England, look 3 wide, going through Hollywood. Who is going to be third to lead those on the prime tyre? It's Cook, a bit crossed up, and off goes Tordoff, and his teammates are all involved in that as well. Stephen Jelly is in the wrong place at the wrong time, so also is Josh Price, Mike Bushell. Senna Proctor, there is mayhem down at the old hairpin, and there are cars everywhere, and you know what's going to be added to the circuit. The safety car is deployed as Sutton grabs the lead and Cook gets up the inside.
Yeah, they're still racing until they get to a safety car board, but you saw all the cars twitching as they came down the crane of curves, all the cars with cold right rear tyres. They must be getting close to the safety car boards now. They'll certainly be out at the chicane because they go out. Look, you can see them in the background there. They go out in both directions, but they're still racing these guys into the chicane.
And Morgan up the inside, and there's contact. Josh Cook was sideways. He loses one spot to Jack Goff as they come across the timing line. And there are the yellows, and now everybody gets the message, thankfully. But actually, there's all sorts of overlapping as the cars come over the line. For whatever reason, the message seemed to get through to some later. There's another one that is off the road, Brett Smith. This, I fear, is going to take some time, not because it's a long process these days to get the cars out of the way, but there are so many of them.
Well, the thing is, some cars will tow and be able, I mean, that's Josh Price's car on the inside there at the old hairpin. That will easily tow, assuming there's no suspension damage. The cars in the gravel need the lift, and we've only got so many recovery vehicles that can do the snatch. Proctor in the pits, disaster for him. The safety car comes around, but you saw from this camera footage, as the cars came down Craner curves towards us, they were all twitching and snaking and having trouble with that right rear.
So now you've got debris on the circuit where people have been off and come across the road. Josh Price was involved in it, so was James Cole. He was the other Motorbase driver with teammate Sam Tordoff. Tom Chilton, just about to go through the old hairpin there, was the one that somehow got away with it. So let's try and piece it all together. Some did survive, like Stephen Jelly. He got going again. Right, Tim, good luck. Talk us through it.
Right, watch the cars twitch as they come through here. Look, the front Butcher's twitching. They're all twitching, and then obviously Tordoff goes round, couldn't see if there was contact, and then it's a concertina reaction.
Cole hit the curb at Hollywood and sort of bounced wide towards Tordoff, and Collard got in the back of them as they all slowed. It's all started, I think, by now. Have a look.
This is going to be the end of it.
Yeah.
At the same time, Sutton was able to get outside, get alongside Rory Butcher on the exit of the old hairpin. This could be good. All hell breaking loose in front. Where do I go? Inside, outside? Oh, I'll just go into the back of Jason. Oh, and then Bushell.
Side of Mike Bushell.
Yeah, and it's that second damage that actually put him into the pits. Here's the lead change. Sutton was alongside Butcher. And look at Josh Cook getting stuck in as well. He knows he's got to get past quickly on those medium tyres.
So here's the scene down at the old hairpin. That last onboard we saw was from onboard Senna Proctor, who has had to make a pit stop as a consequence. And so the race order is Ash Sutton from Adam Morgan, Rory Butcher third, Jack Goff fourth, because although Josh Cook had gained ground at McLean's, he lost ground again at the chicane. Sixth is Chris Smiley. There is Senna Proctor. Dad Mark leans in to have a quick word. The car's in the garage, which is never a great sign. And is that going to be the end of the day? Seventh is Tom Ingram, eighth Dan Camish, ninth Rob Collard. Andrew Jordan's up to 10th, but so many people were delayed. It was pot luck, really, which line you took and whether it worked or not at the old hairpin.
Yeah, well, Morgan has done most of the hard work already. Look, he's got past Butcher. He's only got Sutton in front on the hard tyre and probably not such a quick car. So, you know, at the moment, I'd say Morgan is in the cat seat at the moment. Yeah. He's done a lot of the hard work. And Josh Cook, who was the other one likely to be challenging, is in fifth.
Tom Oliphant with damage. Look, so if the air gets underneath the bonnet, the danger is it'll rip that off. So the scrutineers might want him in for some tape to be used.
Well, he'd be better off to come in the pits now behind the safety car, get that tape down. They've had time in the pits to get a nice big wad of tape. They could take that down. He could be back out behind the safety car and on the back of the Crocodile. If he has to pit under green flag conditions, he'll lose way too much time. And there's no doubt that bonnet will come up.
Indeed, and the TOCA technical officials are on the pit wall to have a look at that as it comes past. So, yeah, if the Sicily Motorsport team is on its toes, they'll try and get the car in, as Tim rightly says, under this race neutralisation where the pace is so much slower. Brett Smith's incident, of course, completely separate.
No, that's up at Coppice, yeah, and it looks like he's gone straight on. So whether he had some damage and, you know, a bit like the Aidan Moffat situation in qualifying where he just couldn't turn the car and he went straight on. There was so much banging and shoving in that first lap, he could easily have some incident.
So his car's being extracted from the gravel bed. Colin Turkington is in the race, and thanks to the Harry Carey down at the old hairpin, he's up to 26th.
Yeah, and Collard made I was interested to see at the start. I expected the Subaru rear-wheel drive would out-drag off the line the Rory Butcher's MG, but in fact, Butcher made a really good start and beat him into Redgate. So it was a good start by Butcher.
So cars go down towards the chicane. We're on to lap number 4. And this is from Jake Hills on board, and Brett Smith's dramas are up the road. Matt Neal's battling with him, and Rob Austin is there.
Well, he was moving sideways, backwards, and probably didn't see that Rob Austin was there. And when Brett moved back to the left to take the line, he inadvertently moved himself across the front of Rob Austin.
So more drama then for the race officials to sort out up at Coppice. And let's try and catch up with Senna Proctor's dramas. He's with Louise.
Senna, you were right in the middle of all that melee, weren't you?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, there was a big melee in front of me, and you know, Jason was right in front of me, and I saw that his brake lights come on. I slammed all on, and then just got people driving into the back of me, you know, for also no fault of their own. So yeah, it was a big train, and with 15 people trying to stop over the space of 100 metres, don't really work. Feel a little bit hard done by. You know, I don't think I should have been, you know, starting from where I was in the first place. So it is what it is. You know, we'll keep our chins up and we'll move on to the next one. But yeah, going home a little bit upset tonight.
I guess it was difficult from where you were sitting to see what was going on up ahead, but we were sort of speculating over whether it's like people just getting twitchy on the cold tyres. What does it feel like first lap out on the colder tyres going through that corner?
Yeah, it was pretty loose, going sort of through that first corner. Jake Hill got past me, and then sort of going down into Crainers, so I just saw a big melee ahead, and that was it. Just sort of tried to take a volley in action, but there was nowhere to go, and then, you know, people had the exact same, but, you know, into the back of me. But like I said before, you know, we shouldn't have been there in the first place, so it is what it is, and, you know, we'll move on, and, you know, we won't keep our heads down for too long.
Bad luck.
Cheers.
Tom Oliphant's car there is being given the meatball flag, the black and orange flag. There it is, and that means there is a problem with your car you may not be aware of. You need to come into the pits and sort it. So hopefully as well there'll be the message over the radio from the team to bring him in. Motorbase's day, Tim, has gone pretty badly, hasn't it? Here,
It's
two
not
of the
good.
3 cars are gone.
But Alan Gow gets to use his new truck. Look, it's being used. That's the new safety truck, which is the rapid response safety truck that's been introduced this year. Fabulous piece of equipment. It's got some wonderful machinery on it, and being used as a recovery vehicle at the moment.
Tom Oliphant down the pit lane, and this is Jack Goff from the start, Tim.
Yeah, Jack makes a pretty good start. Watch Morgan in front. Camish is on your left, trying to close the door. Everybody's trying to get to the inside to box the situation in. Goff is right there. He's hoping for Morgan to get a good exit, which he does. So Jack is able to tuck in behind. Oh, he's looking down the inside of Cook. 2 wheels on the grass. We're up to 125 miles an hour now, but Cook's not having anything of it at that stage. No wonder the car's had a twitch. Did you see Morgan's car moving about there? And then it's on the exit here that Morgan gets a good run going up the hill, following Cook, and Ash Sutton passing Butcher around the outside, sweep round the corner, again leaning on the car, braking hard for McLean's. Morgan gets a good run out of McLean's. Now there's going to be a little bit of a touch between the 2 in front, which gives him the momentum. Watch how he dives to the inside. Perfect, set that up, 2 in 1. And that was a crucial move for Morgan.
So second at Coppice, although Rory Butcher tries to come back, and this of course then puts Josh Cook in jeopardy because there's more fun and games about to happen at the chicane.
Yeah, into the chicane, and well, 2 into 1 never goes there, but Butcher actually did well to save that nicely. But and then, whoa, safety car's out, anchors on, chaps.
But it was the contact between Goff and Cook that of course swapped them over. Now Josh Cook is running back ahead of Jack Goff, even though, as you can see, when the safety car came out, Jack Goff was ahead. So has there been a call to reverse the place because of that push?
Well, of course, there is the rule now that if you gain an advantage by contact, you can give the place back voluntarily, which may well be what Eurotech have told him to do. It's not worth risking a penalty after the race when you can give it back now, and there we are back on board with Josh in front, and then try and recover it again during the race, which I'm sure he's got a good chance of doing.
We'll go back racing this time, I'm told. We are on lap 6 of 16. There will be the extension because of the safety car lap. So Ash Sutton leads the way, the reigning champion, but he's on the harder tyre, which is the slower tyre, which is expected, therefore, to hinder progress as the race wears on. Adam Morgan then in second in the pound seats. Still quite dirty offline there, where everyone's been off the road and brought the muck back on. Third is Rory Butcher, Josh Cook fourth, fifth Jack Goff, Chris Smiley sixth. Then it's Tom Ingram, the championship leader, Dan Camish eighth, Rob Collard ninth, Andrew Jordan rounding out the top 10.
Well, at least they've had a little bit more time to try and get some warmth in their tyres. Even at this speed, we can load the car up when you come through the corner and just transfer the weight onto the wheel. You want to warm up a little bit more and get some temperature in it. There's on board with Turkington on the back of the pack. He'd like this pack to close up a lot more at the moment because they're very spread out if they're restarting. Hopefully they're closing up, but he seems to be okay. If he still had a problem technically, you'd have thought he'd have come in already.
Yeah, and he's gained another place by Oliphant in Fall's pit stop, so he's not yet anywhere near the points, but at least he's a bit closer up the order. Right, Ash Sutton has stacked them all up behind him. He's weaving. Adam Morgan is on his toes, ready to launch up the inside. But, of course, you can't overtake until you get to the timing line. So Ash Sutton, the race leader. Adam Morgan second and Rory Butcher third as we come up to the end of lap number 6. The safety car will peel in and we will be back racing as Ash Sutton now accelerates into the chicane. He tries to get the drop on Adam Morgan. Butcher third, Cook fourth, Goff fifth, Smiley sixth, Ingram, Camish, Collard, Jordan, actually top 10 as we go racing. Green flags fly down towards Redgate. Can Butcher do anything about Morgan? No, because Morgan moves to the middle to defend, but he's not close enough to attack Ash Sutton for the race lead either.
I'll tell you what, Dan Camish has got some front. He's only flashing the headlights at Tom Ingram, the championship leader and two-time race winner this weekend. He doesn't respect anyone, does he? He's going to get stuck in.
As Butcher tries to get stuck in against Morgan, and now that Adam is defending, Ash Sutton's trying to get away up front. So the gap just slightly extending as the leaders go up towards Schwartz Curve. We're on lap 7 and we're up to 19 laps. It'll be a 19-lapper because of the safety car, and Morgan is having to defend very vigorously. Butcher into the back of him almost there. Remember, the MG is also on the harder tyre that's expected to drop off, but Butcher doing a good job, and Sam Smeltz is in the walls again, I'm afraid, down at the old hairpin.
Yeah, he had a broken drive shaft in the last race. He's got some drive now, so is it just a harmless spin? Well, it's a harmless spin, but with a little bit of contact.
From Mike Bushell, by the look of it, yeah. Here are the leaders, and the gap is coming down again between Sutton and Morgan. So at the end of the lap, the concertina effect starts to take effect. When they came over the timing line to start the restart, it was half a second. It's still hovering around there, but Sutton's done the fastest lap, not anymore. Cook goes quicker, Smiley goes quicker, Ingram goes quicker than anybody, and Cook dives up the inside of Butcher going into Redgate. Morgan is so busy defending, though, he can't really go after the leader here.
The hard tyres seem to be working okay at the moment, because Butcher's, he looks strong, although Morgan's just got away from him now, but Sutton was made a good restart, got a little jump on them while they were fighting amongst themselves down the inside, side by side, the two Hunters of Goff and Smiley. Goff gets put out on the grass. Let's hope the splitter doesn't dig in.
Oh! Good save, Jack. He loses 1 place, 2 places, 3 places. That was robust stuff from Chris Smiley. A 4th place lost as Aidan Moffat goes through on the inside. Race lead battle is on. Butcher is defending for 3rd. Morgan release can concentrate now on attacking Sutton, and Smiley versus Ingram take 2. We had it in the middle race, and look at Morgan for the lead up the inside. There's not really a Mercedes width yet. 2 wheels skim the grass down to the chicane. Sutton has to give him racing room in the end, and Adam Morgan in the Back Tools Racing Mercedes is the race leader into the chicane at the end of lap 8. Morgan is ahead. Sutton second. It's Cook up to 3rd and Butcher down to 4th. Smiley 5th.
Well, I'll tell you what, Jack Goff will be thinking now, should I have given that place back to Josh Cook, because I might not have been in this situation. But also, should he have fought that hard? Camish down the inside of Ingram, they're side by side. Smiley just in front. It's going to be a drag race down the Crater curves. This always makes you wince, but it looks like Camish has got slightly in front. Yes, he's got his nose easily ahead, so he can take the racing line. But some wicked side-by-side racing going on in this race.
48 kilos on Camish's Honda, 75, remember, on Ingram. So he's coming into this race with the same weight he had going into the first race, because that was for being the championship leader. So Morgan leading. Now the battle is on for 2nd place. Is Ash Sutton going to be the cork in the bottle on the harder tyre? Let's see. Here comes Josh Cook up the inside. He's got to get on with this, and he knows that, and he does so. Through he goes on the inside at Coppice, gets past his old teammate. Cook goes 2nd. Can he do anything about Morgan? Could he take 2 wins in a day even? 3rd is Sutton now. 4th is Butcher. And then Chris Smiley in 5th place, looking to see if he can gain further ground before the end.
Well, we thought it might come down to a battle between these two, didn't we? Morgan and Cook, and they're now 1st and 2nd, and we'll see who's got the outright pace. In terms of weight, they're both on the same tyre, but in terms of weight, Morgan is on 39 kilos, Cook on 27, barely anything between them.
Smiley, Camish, Ingram, the next long line of cars. Andrew Jordan's under attack from his old teammate, Jack Goff, trying to recover from being elbowed out to the grass. He's in 11th place as they plunge down the hill once again. We're on lap number 10 now of 19 because of that safety car period. What about Colin Turkington's progress? There is no more. He's still stuck down in 26th place. Smiley getting himself past Butcher, Cammish getting himself past Butcher, Ingram going ahead of Butcher, and now Collard in the BMW tries to complete the set. Can he get up the inside? He tries. He is alongside, and the BMW on the tighter line should go through Aidan Moffat next. He tries to get past Collard as well as getting past fellow Scot Rory Butcher, and through he goes.
Yeah, poor old Rory Butcher, he's been hung out on the outside for 3 corners now while everybody steamed past him on the inside, but nothing he could do. Put up a good fight certainly at the start of this race, but that was never gonna hold on those hard tyres once the prime tyre cars really got up to speed.
Andrew Jordan goes past him, and Jack Goff will try likewise, and he's taking Tom Chilton with him. So remember, Ash Sutton is the best of those on the hard tyre. The lead gap is down on that lap by another 3/10. Cook is catching Morgan on board with Goff.
Well, I don't think Goff was close enough. Whether he didn't get a particularly good exit from the chicane, but Butcher was certainly able to draw away from him, but not on the exit of the corner as Goff looks to tuck it up the inside with superior traction on those prime tyres, but isn't able to do so and is getting hassled himself, obviously, by Chilton.
So the fastest lap of the race done by Josh Cook. That is partly why the lead gap is coming down. Adam Morgan is only half a second ahead, and there they are, look. Third is Ash Sutton, who's on the harder tyre, remember, the same as Rory Butcher, but his are hanging on well for the moment in 3rd place. But look at the queue of cars growing behind him. Smiley 4th, Cammish is 5th, Ingram is 6th, and then everybody else funneling through as Rob Austin in the background battles with the MG of Tom Boardman. There are the race leaders then. For the 11th time, down to the chicane. Sutton doing a good job. I know he's losing touch with the top 2, but he's hanging on to 3rd.
He's doing a remarkable job on the hard tyres. Oh, no!
Boardman off.
And that looks like it's in a dangerous place again.
So Tom Boardman, the man from Preston, gets out of the car. How did he get there? Contact with Rob Austin, and then also with the Team Hard Volkswagen. Was that Jake Hill behind that got involved?
Yeah, well, he's had a bit. Rob's had a bit of action up at Coppice, hasn't he? Oh, now we've got Cammish up the inside of Smiley. Cammish this is a favourite pace, quickly becoming a favourite pace of Cammish's. Look, it gives him on the inside, knowing that. Oh no, didn't need that on. He's punctured. He's punctured. What a shame. He had that move done, just tried to hold on round the outside, and the slightest contact.
And Smiley's in grief as well because it's done his suspension and all of that, so neither of them profited, and Chris Smiley's race is ruined because of that contact. So look, you can see the car crabbing. That's his race done after showing such good pace. Cammish is in the gravel, and here it is again.
Well, they're side by side. It appears that Cammish gives room, and they look fine. Well, it's just both wanted a similar bit of tarmac, didn't they? It was 50-50, that one.
So Dan Cammish into the gravel, out of the race, and Chris Smiley will head for the pit lane. Big disappointment for him after what had been a really good day. Over the line comes Adam Morgan then. He's half a second up on Josh Cook, and Morgan has just done the fastest lap of the race to try to creep away. But we've now got more and more cars in gravel beds, haven't we? On board with Jake Hill. So he was involved in that little skirmish earlier because there he is up with Rob Austin, and he's about to make a move on the inside line down into Redgate. He will go through here, and in so doing, that's going to give him 11th place.
Yeah, Rob's fighting back a little bit. We know how quick that VW is on a flat-out blast, but Rob's got round the outside, but Jake's not giving it in. We don't want to repeat of the last instant then. You'd think there'd still be yellow flags there. Maybe that's why he backed out of it, but yeah, it's typically becoming a race 3, isn't it? A touring car race 3.
Indeed so, yes, well put. All of which is helping the likes of James Nash, who started right at the very back of the grid, and he's now up into 13th place. There he is, look, in what is now the surviving BTC Norlin Honda. Chris Smiley, having been Cammish, got to the pit lane, but I fear that's the end of the day for him as Morgan's lead has extended fractionally. This next battle, Matt Neal in the surviving Team Dynamics Honda on the tail of Rory Butcher in the surviving MG into the chicane, and the two of them 8th and 9th.
Yeah, Matt Neal's going to do his customary charge. He did it in the 3rd race at Brands Hatch, and he's cannily picked his way through the debris here, and he's not going to be far behind this freight train. Collard up the inside of Ingram. Remember, Ingram's got 75 kilos on, so he's going to struggle, and he gets pushed out wide there. And this group could all end up queued up behind Ash Sutton, which could allow Matt Neal at the back to pick off a few more places.
Good indeed. Aidan Moffat then gaining a place as well, so that's bringing him closer to the front. And Andrew Jordan arrives on the tail now of Tom Ingram. Andrew's had a rather understated weekend, but he's going to go out with a flourish if he can and get himself up to the pointy end of the pack as they round McLean's corner. We're on lap 14 of 19, and the list of retirements is growing all the time. We've started with 32, and we've got 24 still circulating, and you never know what might kick off yet as Moffat goes way up the curve there, trying to straight line Coppice and get himself onto the tail of Collard, which he does on the run down to the chicane. Jordan is on the tail of Ingram behind, and they head into the braking zone this time. Moffat tries to find a way past Collard, but the BMW repels the challenge. Now this, remember, is for 4th and 5th places, which means that 3rd ahead of them is Ash Sutton on that hard tyre. This is a Herculean job that he's doing.
It is, but we've still a way to go. We've got yellow flags in sector 3, but that's not stopping or deterring Aidan Moffat from having a look. Collard does the right thing and doesn't turn in, gives him some room, and is able to sweep still round the outside. Yeah, I sort of feel can Sutton hang on for the rest of this race? It's going to be a tough ask. I mean, if the guys behind him keep battling like that, it does slow them down.
But they're not yet on his tail, are they?
No.
He's 6/10ths up the road, so they've got to catch him first. And because they're squabbling like this, that's delaying them. To McLean's they go. We're on lap 15 of 19. The laps are ticking down, and because Collard is still defending, and there you see Tom Boardman's car being retrieved, that line is growing behind, so it's Collard, Moffat, Ingram, then Jordan. Matt Neal is 8th. 9th now is Tom Chilton, who's got himself up past Rory Butcher, and Jake Hill going through shot there is 11th. 12th is Rob Austin. 13th is James Nash.
On board with Jake Hill, and we see them squabbling in front. That's Butcher and Chilton. Chilton's got up the inside now as poor old Rory continues to slip back a bit on those hard tyres, but he's still in the points. Jake gets a very good exit, but in fact it's so good he's forced to go to the outside. He might cut back. That MG going quick, he might cut back now, yeah. Oh. Rory wasn't having anything of it. He saw it coming and covered it off. So now the next chance is on the exit here to get up the inside here. 2 wheels on the grass, but you can do that flat out. That's no problem. And yeah, it worked. Rory going 2 wheels on the grass as well. But now side by side.
Job done.
Yeah.
Jake Hill goes through at the old hairpin.
Good driving by both.
Yeah, the room given from both, so you get the place changed. Now, this is for 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th. Keep on lining them up. And it is finally Collard catching up to Sutton, but he's got Moffat crawling all over him. And up the inside for 4th. Aidan Moffat is about to go through. Count the Mercedes, get ahead of the BMW. They rub. Ingram is still behind, keeping Jordan at bay. And now, foot nailed to the boards, down towards the chicane they come. Aidan Moffat on the inside will go through and take 4th place from Rob Collard. What can he do now to catch and then pass Ash Sutton?
Yeah, so as soon as they caught up with Ash Sutton, they started falling over themselves, didn't they? Because they all think they're the quickest and the one to challenge. The guy that's being clever is Ingram, because he's just trying to get points. He's up there. He probably has been told that Goff has dropped back, who's his nearest championship challenger. Goff's down in 23rd place. So all Ingram's got to do is just maintain a good points finish. He's got Matt Neal, Andy Jordan coming through now, but even so, he'd still be in a good place, even if he finishes 8th or 9th.
Getting worried about Jack Goff because he's not yet come over the timing line at the end of that previous lap. So has he got a problem that might be sending him to the pit lane? No, he's just gone through, but Jack Goff has clearly got a big problem. He's way back now, 41 seconds off the leaders. Here is Goff down towards Redgate. It's more than a legacy, surely, of the rub he had with Chris Smiley early on. Yeah,
well, we don't know what sort of damage that might have done, but look, Josh Cook has not given up on this. He'd love to get a second victory, but Morgan's going to do everything he can to deny him in the final 3 laps.
And again, here's an example, and we've said it all day, all season, of the young guns in the British Touring Car Championship ruling the roost. They come over the line, and the gap is less than ever now. We are on to lap 18 of 19. 2 to run, and 2/10ths between the leading 2 cars. Out of Redgate, Adam Morgan looking for his first victory of the season. Josh Cook looking for a career second, and a second of the day is right there behind him as they drop down towards the old hairpin. Cook closing under braking. Adam Morgan, though, is going to have to make this car so wide.
And they are right on the limit. A lap and a half to go, right on the ragged edge. There's several places to pass, but already, look, a little defensive move by Morgan just up into McLean's, just defending the inside, but he's going to have to defend like hell for the rest of it. Oh, and Aidan Moffat's got past Sutton.
So that puts him third. And now does that reach the dam? Can Rob Collard get through? Let's see. Up towards the penultimate run to the chicane comes this lead battle. Adam Morgan versus Josh Cook. Mercedes versus Vauxhall. Hard on the brakes, into the right and then the left to start the final lap of round 6 of the British Touring Car Championship. It is Adam Morgan who leads the way, and that's Tom Oliphant in the wars again. He's off at Coppice. Thankfully, I don't think anybody else has been involved with him. But that is one very battle-scarred Mercedes. It gets going again as the leaders come out of Redgate then. We're on the last lap of the race. It is Morgan ahead by 0.3 of a second.
So close, and Morgan's driving a great race. He's barely compromising him as Matt Neal gets past Ingram, but that's fine. As I say, Ingram's still going to go away from this weekend very, very happy with his point.
Yeah, that's going to push him back into 8th place, but it's still well clear of his champion rival, and Ingram's not giving up. He has a rather cheeky look on the inside there of the triple champion. So, Moffat up to 3rd, Collard is up to 4th, and Jordan is up to 5th. Sutton finally falls back as to Coppice for the last time. Morgan and Cook virtually as one. This is going to go down to the wire, isn't it, as they accelerate now onto Starkey Straight, down to the chicane. Has Adam Morgan got enough in hand then? Let's see. At the end of that second sector, he was fractionally quicker, but Cook is towing himself onto the tail as they get to the chicane. Through the right, through the left, the checkered flag is ready. Round 6 of the Dunlop MSA British Touring Car Championship is won by Adam Morgan in the Matt Tools Racing Mercedes. Power Match Racing's Josh Cook is 2nd. 3rd is going to be Aidan Moffat. A great result for him ahead of Rob Collard and then Andrew Jordan, the 2 BMWs, a 4th and 5th. Who is going to be 6th? It's a virtual dead heat because on the line it is just Sutton from Neal. Ingram is 8th, Chilton 9th, and Jake Hill into the top 10, a good result. Rob Austin 11th. James Nash started 32nd and finishes 12th. Brilliant drive, James Nash. 13th is Butcher, 14th is Matt Simpson, and Mike Bushell 15th to round out the scorers. Time for another deep breath. Another fabulous race and a great drive by Adam Morgan to withstand all that pressure.
Yeah, it really was. They were the guys most likely to, as we said prior to the race, bearing in mind their weight and their car speed already proven today, and the fact they're on the prime tyre. But they still did the hard work, and it was a great Russell Morgan over the moon. And yeah, they did drive really, really well. But I thought Sutton drove well for a very long time on the hard tyres, showing us what champion class he is. And Ingram's so much looking like championship material throughout this year. He really is. Goff will be very disappointed at the points he lost because he was in a strong place as well. But some excellent drives, and nice to see a couple of BMWs in 4th and 5th place finally getting something out of this weekend.
And clearly Colin Turkington, although he was circulating, had limited pace because 21st is hardly representative of what we've seen him doing. There is a Mercedes, believe it or not, with lots of tank tape on it. Tom Oliphant's car here, lots of the grass. He's already been in the wars earlier on. Thankfully, nobody else got wiped out by that, but Oliphant in the end dropping back into 22nd place in a car that's going to need a lot of love.
Yeah, Tom's been getting stuck in, but this was the Collard passing Sutton move, which also opened the door for Jordan. Yeah, Tom Oliphant's been involved in a lot of rough and tumble this weekend. He was impressing a lot of people with his determination to get stuck in, but maybe he's got a little bit too much stuck in this weekend.
Adam Morgan is a race winner, and bearing in mind that he was in the gravel and way back in the first race after contact with Tom Oliphant. 22nd he started then for race 2, and a race winner by the end of the weekend. So it shows you just don't give up, you keep on pushing. And Tom Oliphant in the end finishing in 22nd spot here, and the pit lane is just besieged by Mercedes mechanics. This is how Oliphant got to the grass. Ollie Jackson was the aggressor, and Tom Oliphant comes off worse. But for Sicily, a win for Adam Morgan, and the satellite car of Aidan Moffat for Laser Tools Racing taking 3rd means that there's a lot of celebrating to be done. Round 6 of the championship won by Adam Morgan. Josh Cook 2nd, and 3rd goes to Aidan Moffat. Rob Collard 4th ahead of Andrew Jordan. Ash Sutton, the best of those on the hard tyre, 6th from Matt Neal and Tom Ingram. Tom Chilton, and then Jake Hill 10th. 11th goes to Rob Austin from James Nash from last on the grid. Rory Butcher 13th, then it's Matt Simpson and Mike Bushell. Out of the points, Ollie Jackson and Stephen Jelly. Jason Plato 18th from Michael Caine, and then Bobby Thompson in 20th spot. 21st only, Colin Turkington. Then Tom Oliphant, Jack Goff way back 23rd, and Sam Smelt 24th. Chris Smiley did rejoin 4 laps down after a pit stop. Camish in the gravel, Boardman in the gravel, Proctor in the pit lane, Cole in the gravel, Tordoff in the gravel, Brett Smith in the gravel, Josh Price on the grass on the inside of the old hairpin. A lot of hard luck stories at the end of round 6 of the BTCC. But for Adam Morgan, it is another great day. His 5th career win, and the Mac Tools Racing squad will cheer him to the echo, I'm sure, as he clambers out of the car. And how your day can improve from being almost on suicide watch at the start of it after race 1. He's a winner by the end of it, and it shows that you just keep on fighting. Goes to embrace all of this very close-knit family squad. Bumps in the middle of it, and somewhere Patron, Russell himself, who is a very modest chap, will be there to say bravo to Adam at the end of a great drive, and never put a wheel wrong. He's come on a great deal over the last few seasons. Tom Ingram, 7 points ahead of Adam Morgan in the championship. Josh Cook is up to 3rd, and down to 4th falls Jack Goff. Ash Sutton 5th ahead of Aidan Moffat. Dan Camish is down to 7th ahead of Chris Smiley. Then it's Rob Austin, and 10th, Colin Turkington. But Adam Morgan, thumbs up. And after a great battle with Josh Cook, both of them respecting what the other driver was doing, and it's good to see. Thumbs up and smiles all round as Josh goes over to the Power Max Racing team for his congratulations.